We have reached the final day, and today the contestants will find out who has won Farmers Apprentice 2018.
Today we're going to find out who's going to end up on the cover of Farmers Weekly as the reigning Farmers Apprentice 2018. But before that, you've got one more task ahead of you.
Apprentices, you've been working all week with your team captains, Ben and Mitchell, to do a presentation for the school children at Wombridge Primary School. You've got 2 hours left to finalise your preparation for your presentations to these children.
We've got an additional specialist judge with us today. Josh Dow-Biggin is Head of Agriculture for the dairy for the co-op. He's also the reigning Farmers Weekly Agricultural Student of the Year and one of our columnists on Farmers Weekly. So you'll have 2 Farmers Weekly champions working with you today.
So apprentices, good luck, and it is still all to play for.
After yesterday's performance from the boys, will they be any better in front of the judges this time?
The rest of the team's buggered off shopping while we do the final preparations for the presentation. Hopefully they'll fetch us a present back.
I reckon we've got a chance of winning. I do. I reckon we do. We've worked hard and we've come together nicely.
Yeah, Mitchell's gone to the shop, hopefully
to buy
going
costume.
to get 2 cow costumes.
Honestly, if he like purposely buys a costume that's smaller and we're gonna have to wear it.
So, it's every man for himself. The teammates don't seem too impressed with their leaders, but will their focus and determination win them the title? With preparations finally complete, Team Ben and Team Mitchell head to Wombridge Primary School, where they're introduced by head teacher and Farmers Weekly 2017 farming champion, Neil Sator.
Well, we're delighted to welcome Farmers Apprentice to Wombridge School. Great opportunity to put together some of our bright minds. We've got some fantastic children here, really excited by the opportunities in farming and the future challenges of that, put together with some of the most buoyant and excited people in farming today with Farmers Apprentice. It's really quite exciting.
The children are eagerly waiting, and Team Ben are up first.
Good morning, Wombridge. Are we all right? Yes. Are we all right? Yes. Right, so we are Team Ben. This is the team. You've got Sam, Lauren and Ben. This is Taylor and that is Ashley. So, the big question is, guys, what will farming in the UK look like in 2100? So, we know you've been looking at 2050, but we're going on an extra 50 years. So, we're going to explain that on now. So, I'm going to pass you on to Taylor, who's going to let you know.
So, morning everybody. So, I've got a quick question.
Ben's upbeat introduction seems to have caught the children's attention, and it's up to the rest of the team to keep them engaged.
Who's hungry now? You're all hungry. Some of the judges in the back are hungry.
So what if we were to grow lettuce in this room so we could have lettuce all year round so we wouldn't have to get it from a different country? So that would make us more efficient and sustainable for the future. British produce, and that's what we want to push for. Thank you very much.
But there's new technology now that's going to be progressed where you've got tractors that are not being driven by humans, and you guys rightly said that there's not going to be a role for us farmers anymore when in 100 years' time we're going to have no purpose.
So, what is the future of British agriculture? It's you guys, not technology. Right? So there's one thing we want you to take home today, guys. And basically, if you don't necessarily want to be a farmer, that doesn't mean you can't have an impact on the future of agriculture. And most of all, teamwork makes the dream work. Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much.
The presentation has gone well, and the judges are impressed.
Thanks very much. Well done, team.
To make things more interesting, the pupils have given their scores. Whoa! And the judges are giving their feedback to the team.
Can I just say thank you, guys, for all your hard work put into that. Thank you.
Now, it's over to Team Mitchell.
Good morning, everyone. So this morning we're going to talk to you all about the dairy industry, and our main motto for today is proper food from proper farming, and we want to really get across to you the idea that if the farming's done well, then you're going to eat the most delicious food you have ever have.
So basically we require a chain which is known as the food supply chain, which means we can get a healthy, fresh product to you to pass on down the chain to eventually end up on your kitchen table.
So guys, we want to get you involved in the food supply chain today. So if you wouldn't mind, can you all come and stand in a long line here, facing this way? Good. I'm going to give you all a part of the food supply chain. Right, so first, I want you all to get in the order that you think that it is. So if you have 2 minutes to get into the correct order.
Libby's interaction with the students seems to be working well. But what will the judges make of their style?
Are you happy with that? Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to hand over to Harry.
Hello. Let's see the order. What you got? I'll tell you what, you're close. If you turn around, can we put that is the order we were going for. So you are very, very close.
So every one of you are equally important. We need every one of you to be in this order to get right from the arable farmer at the end to create this lovely juicy milk right at the end here. So it's really important that everyone loves what they do and they know what they do really well, and that we have our high welfare standards that we have here in the UK to make this chain as efficient and as effective as it is here in the UK. Great, so who's hungry for a bit of ice cream or some yoghurt? I thought that might be the case.
After the children enjoy a sweet treat,
Or sticky toffee, what would you like?
the judging panel have finally come to a decision.
That's great, thank you. So you all liked it then? You all gave them pretty high scores? That's great, thank you very much.
And, more importantly, what will the judges make of their presentation?
So we've had 2 different topics and 2 very different styles there. How do we think they did? Let's start with Team Ben, who went first.
Very enthusiastic, very excited at the beginning. Very excitable at the beginning, wound the children up nicely.
There's a but coming there though, I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, there was a but. Those children were very well behaved and they sat through a lecture, really. Could have got the kids up, got them involved.
Too passive, so they weren't engaged, actively engaged in the learning experience,
no,
really.
No.
Other thoughts on now?
I think that's really interesting because obviously we work with these kids all the time now, and we work with them at Harper from an outreach point of view. I mean, personally, I found Team Ben the most entertaining in terms of the content and the presentation. But if I was to have one of my team or myself go into a class or one of your classes, you wouldn't necessarily thank me for. You know, I'm not sure I'd be in control of it. Whereas the second team had a real grip on the subject, didn't they? And then had a way of bringing it to life with a little exercise, get the kids on their feet, sort out the food supply chain order, and they were in control.
I think within the first minute the children were up, and one of the apprentices were down and getting them moving around.
Rob, we had them presenting yesterday. How do you think their presentations today compared with yesterday?
The difference in 24 hours was unbelievable. I was hard on them yesterday and I felt guilty afterwards, but they took it on board.
You're right to be hard on them.
They practiced, you know, hats off to the guys. They've only been together, they haven't been together a full week yet. And, yeah.
You wouldn't have known that, Robert. You wouldn't have known those people didn't know each other and they hadn't been in front of children before, and as role models for the industry, I think they did a fantastic job today.
Josh, the quality of the content, what do you think?
Yeah,
about?
I think Ben's team had the enthusiasm, but I think the content was a bit too much, and there wasn't a take-home message like there was for Mitchell's team. Mitchell's team knew that they wanted to teach the kids about traceability. It wasn't too complicated. There was one message, and they got that across. Ben's team had that enthusiasm, but then they didn't really summarise it in a way that said this is what farming will actually look like in 2100.
And something struck me very strongly when I heard it from the first team. I wrote it down, it struck me so strongly. Farmers will have no purpose in 2100. That worried me. I don't think they meant that. I don't think they meant that farms are going to disappear. We've got to be careful. They were the words they used, and if that's the message we're getting across to the children.
I noted that. We're trying to inspire the next generation about the roles, and they didn't quite put it together till right at the end. And at the end, it was like the kids are the answer. The kids will be the future, and there are these careers and roles within a different form, a different vision of agriculture.
But it's about knowing your audience. You could go to another school down the road, 8 to 10-year-olds, and the children know absolutely nothing. So it's about knowing the background of the school and preparing for that.
Can we pick out some individuals? So in Team Ben, were there any individuals that stood out particularly?
Sam stood out for me. He came across well compared with yesterday. He knew his stuff and he was looking at his audience all the time and he spoke well. I liked his presentation.
Yeah, Lauren was quite quiet, I thought, in the first group, although the children picked her out as someone they really liked.
They did, yeah.
I'd replicate Sam there. I think he was really considerate around the words that he was using to put across the point. He knew that he was talking to young kids and that if he was going to use complicated language, the message wouldn't get across. So for me, Sam was the highlight out of Ben's group.
Neil, Ben, the leader, he was very active. What did you think about the way he interacted with the kids? Did that work or was it over the top?
Over the top. The children's entertainer, yes. I think Lauren delivered the messages much more clearly that she wanted to, in a clear, articulate voice. Ben, 10 out of 10 for his enthusiasm.
I thought Taylor spoke very clearly actually as well and gave a couple of really good answers.
Yes.
Okay, let's think about Team Mitchell. You mentioned that you thought Tessa did really well there.
I knew from the moment we started what it was that we were going to be learning about. Yeah, I felt she really engaged the children in the appropriate way straight away, but I think the whole team worked well together. I think they complemented well each other.
Harry was quite quiet to start with, but he grew confidence as the time went on.
I was impressed with Libby as well, because I thought, you know, all of them looked at the audience and looked like they were engaged with them directly.
Well, it was Libby who got down off the stage and got the children with their signs on and got them moving and got them, so she really got the lesson going, so yeah.
So I think we've got a clear winning team. We agreed, without naming the team, we agreed that we've got a clear winning team.
Yeah.
It's been all to play for today, but the judges will have to pull out which team will be awarded the spoils for this final task.
You've been working on this task all week, and I think the amount of work you put in really showed today. Rob, how have they improved compared to their presentations yesterday?
Unbelievable. The difference, you really took in what we said to you yesterday afternoon when you went from one extreme to the other. 24 hours, you've practiced, you've rehearsed, you pulled it all off. The whole lot of you were fantastic and I'm proud to have worked with you all week.
Josh, what are your thoughts?
I think you should all be really proud of what you've done today. To present to children of that age, it's not an easy task. And I was really proud of you all, how you delivered it and the content of your presentations as well. You'd obviously thought about it all week, so I was very impressed.
Okay, the winning team of the final task of Farmers Apprentice 2018 is, Robert?
Mitchell's team.
Congratulations. We're now going to go away and make our deliberations for our final decision on who's going to win Farmers Apprentice 2018. Good luck to all of you.
We've had tears, strops, laughs, and a lot of hard work. But ultimately, there can only be one winner.
The task today has been amazing. It's been really good. It's been really good for like self-achievement. One thing I've taken from this week is just to enjoy it. So you can try and go for an end goal, but I think really rather than focusing on that too much to where you're not enjoying it, like opportunities like this, you've just got to go for it. And I'm just excited, really. I'm a bit more, I'm gutted that it's all coming to an end. Yeah.
Today's task, yeah, it was different definitely from everything else we've done during the week. But like the presentation, we really came together at the end all week. We kind of were running with the same idea, you know, the sort of the way we got the kids involved. It kind of evolved a couple of times, but yeah, that stage sort of, we always wanted to do that. It pulled off excellently as far as that task, keeping them involved. Really inspired by how much the kids, like how much they knew, and then they still were able to teach them a bit, so it wasn't like we were just telling them the same stuff they'd been taught the whole way through school. Team members, yeah, had a lot of bother getting everybody to show up, especially earlier on in the week, but overall, like, we really pulled together there in the last couple of days. We got it all done. The presentation, like if we had another week, I think we'd still done it the same. It probably wouldn't have looked a lot different because we wanted to keep it quite simple and keep our point really clear, as few words and as many pictures as possible. So yeah.
This is the crunch point though, Robert. We've got to pick one winner now.
Wow, this is the bit I'm not looking forward to, Carol. I've worked with these apprentices for the week, got to know them, to pick a one. Wow, who is it going to be?
The time has come to reveal who has won Farmers Apprentice 2018.
Robert, they haven't made it easy for us.
You certainly haven't. What a pleasure it has been working with you guys this week. I've got to know you all personally. You've all had ups, downs, highs, lows. You've all excelled at something. You've all helped each other on, you've all egged each other on, and you're all very passionate people about the industry, and that's what we're looking for in you guys to lead in the future.
So, the winner of Farmers Apprentice 2018 is...
Sam.
I told you, mate. I told you. Well done, mate.
Congratulations, Sam.
Well done.
To be the winner of Farmers Apprentice 2018, absolutely unbelievable, fantastic.
And here's your cheque, £10,000.
Right now, I cannot really believe it, but yeah, overwhelmed, over the moon.
Congratulations.
It was right to the wire. We couldn't make a decision until we had a look at all the apprentices perform this morning in front of the school children. And that, to be honest, that didn't make our job any easier because they all had different mixes, attributes to the industry, a great mix of apprentices from all different backgrounds. It was a brilliant opportunity for those apprentices this week.
Apart from the awards, this is the biggest thing that Farmers Weekly does. It's the biggest in terms of the amount of work involved, it's the biggest in terms of the amount of money we spend on it. And it's hugely important, not just for Farmers Weekly, but the issues it deals with are important for farming. It's about highlighting the talent in the industry and the importance of bringing really talented people into the industry, because this is an industry going through more change than it ever has done before. We need bright, motivated, talented people to make it a success in this country.
It's the end of another Farmers Apprentice bootcamp. This year we received over 250 registrations from aspiring young farmers from across the UK. We worked with top experts from across the industry at one of the country's top agricultural universities and put our selected 9 finalists through an intense week of farming tasks.
Won it!
Various challenges face the agricultural industry in the coming years, and encouraging the smartest and most inspirational young minds into farming is perhaps the most important tool for tackling these issues. Farmers Apprentice is part of Farmers Weekly's commitment to ensuring UK farming is portrayed as the exciting, hard-working and unique industry it is.